Okay. Let me just see. Will this be recorded for reference? Yes. All our classes are recorded and are available for future. And the good reason for starting the good reason to attend these classes is that you should be able to ask your questions and get your questions answered. All right. There's a good question that what's the difference between machine learning and deep learning? We will clarify that today. Okay. And all right. So this is the format where we talk about speakers and then we talk about IIT Roorkee, then we talk about CloudxLab, and then we talk about, we go ahead and introduce data science, machine learning, and AI. And then we talk about the applications, and then we talk about GPT and ChatGPT, and what's a typical workflow of a machine learning project. And then we talk about briefly, like what are the careers. And it is going to be approximately 2 hour session. And except for the speakers, everyone is going to be on mute. So please use the chat to ask questions. And don't worry, the recordings and slide will be shared after the session. For those who are taking the course, this will become available in the LMS. And those who are not attending the session, those who are not attending the course, they will get this in an email. Okay. Yeah. So briefly about Professor Raksha, uh, who is one of the faculties at IIT Roorkee in Computer Science Department. She did her PhD in IIT Bombay, and she has been a research scientist in past at Tata Research Design and Development Center. Her core focus is machine learning. And Professor Raksha, would you like to add anything?
Uh, yeah, Sandeep, thanks for the introduction. So I would like to add my research area. So I work specifically in the field of natural language processing, and I'm very much interested taking PhD candidates in IIT Roorkee, in the computer science department of IIT Roorkee. So if any of you is interested pursuing PhD part-time or full-time, you may apply for the PhD program. So I work in many domains of NLP as well as applications of machine learning. So sentiment analysis, summarization, machine translation, or application of machine learning on any numeric data set, be it from electrical engineering background or mechanical engineering background. I'm open to work on all the problem statements. So yeah, this I wanted to add. Thank you, Sandeep. Please
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So specifically specifically there's a specifically she has like her specialization is in the natural language processing, and we know that as of today the natural language processing is the one that is probably the most advanced and moving fast. Okay. And moving ahead, so yeah, so Professor, actually, you want to speak about hierarchy briefly?
Sure, Sandeep. Yeah, I'll take. Uh, so, although we are very well aware of IIT Roorkee, it is a renowned institute in India as well as in other parts of the world. So, let me give a brief about IIT Roorkee. So, the slide is about the number of departments we have, and some little bit history of IIT Roorkee. So it is oldest technical institution in Asia, which was established in 1847, and it currently it offers bachelor degree in 11 programs and postgraduate degree in 55 disciplines. So for post graduation, we have multiple disciplines within the department. Okay, for example, in computer science, you can pursue post graduation in NLP or core machine learning or applied machine learning or cryptography network security, image processing. So these are the disciplines which run in computer science department. Similarly, we have post-graduation disciplines in other departments also. And there are 22 departments with well-equipped lab infrastructure and a central library. And so I think this course has an in-campus, few in-campus days also. So that time you may visit the institute and can see that we have a world-class central library, and many departments are very well, are having very quality infrastructure, and the institute is worth visiting. So every year, students from more than 50 countries join IIT Roorkee for full-time or short-term training courses.
Wonderful. Thank
Can
you.
you
Thank you
please?
for the selection.
I think
Yeah.
there are a few
Yeah.
more
Go
points.
ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, in terms of citations for faculty, IIT Roorkee stands first among all the engineering institutes in the world, and it is first among all the IITs in the country, and it has sixth NIRF ranking among engineering institute, which is a national level ranking, and yeah. So, and if we talk about this Times Higher Education World University ranking, we had 83rd position in 2020. And this data is little old, but we are close to that position still. And in overall NIRF ranking among all the universities, we are 9th as per 2020 record. Yes. Sandeep, can you please change?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So, yeah. Okay. So about myself, I am Sandeep Giri. I graduated from IIT Roorkee, and then, I mean, IIT Roorkee is one of my, the most important period of my life. And after IIT Roorkee, I worked with DE Shaw, then founded a company called Tibits, then worked with InMobi and Amazon, then founded CloudxLab, and recently I was working with DevRev as heading their AI, and yeah, and I'm also starting new AI company. So at heart, I am an engineer, a researcher, and I love explaining technology, and that's why I started CloudxLab in first place. This is the CloudxLab in general has been very successful in upskilling more than 250,000 users across the globe, and we are happy to say that this collaboration, specifically IIT Roorkee and CloudxLab, this has upskilled uh, the professors, professionals, and even quite a few researchers are our students, and the CXOs of large companies, or you can say the directors, engineering directors, and very senior people have been part of this journey, along with the beginners and everyone. So, so the core part at CloudxLab is that we have this playground which appears on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side is the problem statement. And you solve the problem on the right-hand side, and then it basically evaluates then and there. This is something very much appreciated by most of the organizations and the engineers there because, say, for example, recently a company named Extria, they have been our good partner. Their engineers really finished the entire machine learning course just at their own self by going through these playground-based exercises on machine learning and deep neural networks. And this has been very successful in basically giving people hands-on experience. This is core innovation at CloudxLab. Then we have like all the lab components and everything available online. Like for example, if you want to just interact with Python or anything, it's available as is. You don't have to always open this playground. You can just go to the console and start working on it. And then the CloudX Lab is essentially it's an online cloud-based lab where you get real world experience, seamless real world experience and seamless experience whereby you don't have to download, install or anything. all the data sets and everything is available on the cloud, and you can use any device anywhere. It also helps you build your public persona, as well as you can interact with the peers, and you can see how they're doing and how you're doing against it, because every time you finish an exercise, you get points, and those points reflect on your profile. And tomorrow, when we are sharing your profile with the recruiter, we usually share the XP points along with. And it matters a lot because I mean, it matters a lot. You should always focus on building a profile in general, helping teammates and everyone. Okay. The job section, we keep on posting the jobs, and we conduct these placement eligibility tests from time to time for all the engineers and all the people who have enrolled in our courses, and then we connect them with the recruiters. Now, question is, we start with, let me just see. Yeah, we start with the point, what is data science? I would like to invite Professor Raksha to take it forward. Yeah.
Um, so one of you asked what is the difference between deep learning and machine learning. So you might have questions like what is the difference between data science and machine learning, or data science and AI. These questions will become clear in next 5-10 minutes. So I'm starting with what is data science. Data science is not independent from artificial intelligence or machine learning, but here we have focused on finding a problem statement on an available data set and then providing a solution with the help of machine learning techniques or some dedicated data science techniques. So data science is an interdisciplinary field which has scientific methods, processes, algorithms. These algorithms and scientific methods can be from machine learning. Few methods can be dedicated to data science, like pre-processing of the data, cleaning of the data. These are dedicated methods. And the overall purpose of data science is to extract knowledge and insights from structured as well as unstructured data. Okay, so if you are seeing on the right hand side, there was an image which is showing some keywords. So for example, you are having 10,000 documents and you want to find out which are the keywords or the important terminologies in these documents, what these documents are about. So this kind of problem statement is a data science problem statement, and our data will be those 10,000 documents. And you can, what is depicted in the form of picture here on the right hand side, this you can assume or consider as the output of your problem statement, which you obtain after applying data science. Okay, so data science is a science where we apply methods, scientific methods from machine learning domain or from any other domain to extract knowledge from the data. Data can be structured data or unstructured data. Okay, the detail about the types of data we will get in the coming lectures. Okay, I'm not going very deep on this topic. So yeah, Sandeep, can you please? Yeah. So data science stands at the center of many other domains or many other courses which are in its themselves very vast syllabus. So for example, it has some component of maths, it has some component of computer science. The major component from computer science is programming. Okay, otherwise there will be very little knowledge from different domains of computer science. For example, if you are trying to solve some software engineering problem using data science, then you need software engineering knowledge also. Otherwise, it's not whole computer science. Okay, and then domain knowledge. For example, if you are addressing data from medical domain, from health domain, then you need little bit health, that particular knowledge on that particular data set. Only then you will be able to frame the problem statement or to validate the output of your problem statement after applying any algorithm, any data science algorithm. Okay, so some component of domain knowledge. Then some component of information science. Information science is what type of information you want. You should have clarity on that. How much amount of information you want. Okay, what is actually information? That is information science. Okay, you might have taken information course in your in different programs. You might have witnessed information course. So some techniques from information science that also come under data science. Then statistics, some strategies of statistics that will also make data science. So it's mathematics, computer science, domain knowledge, information science, and statistics, which make data science. So as we said, it is an interdisciplinary field which is made up of different courses, and it is not related to any particular branch of engineering or any particular course of engineering. So anyone from any background can pursue data science. Yeah. So what is machine learning? So that was about data science. Now let's come to machine learning. So before taking this definition of machine learning, I would like to tell you one generic statement about machine learning, that machine learning is a set of techniques, okay, which are required to solve any problem statement which is related to some data. Okay, when you are applying, when your problem statement is such that which is based on some existing data set, there we can apply machine learning. Okay, but we will have to see the feasibility whether machine learning is possible or not. That is the job of the machine learning scientist, to decide whether machine learning is feasible or not. Okay, so machine learning itself is not very useful, but when we associate machine learning with data science, machine learning with NLP, machine learning with image processing, then it becomes very useful for the society, for the community. Otherwise, it is just like mathematics. It is a set of techniques to solve problems which belong to different domains. Okay, now let me take the definition which is given by a statistician only, Arthur Samuel, who said computer, it is a set of techniques, or it is a method to give computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Okay, there are problem statements for which we can write the logic. For example, if I ask you to find the shortest path from one point to another point, okay, you will be able to derive the logic and you will be able to write the program yourself. There we don't need machine learning. But when you have such a problem statement where you fail to find out any particular logic, for example, I ask you to find keywords or the main terminologies in 10,000 documents, you all will say, we don't know the logic, how we will do it. Okay, so such problem statements where we don't know the logic, so even after knowing the programming language, we cannot write the code. Okay, such problem statement where we have data but we don't know the logic, we can make machine to learn itself, to learn the logic and solve the problem. Okay, this field is called machine learning. Okay, so this is very old and still very valid definition of machine learning by Arthur Samuel. So let's understand it with a real world example. So we are having one game, very traditional game, Mario. Many of you might have played, though I have never played, but I have heard a lot about it. And through this video, Sandeep, can you please change the slide? So the game is about to make progress in the direction of in the forward direction and scoring as much as possible. Okay, while you are moving ahead, we have to increase the score as much as possible. Okay, so the way human beings learn, on day one, if a boy is going to start the game, he doesn't know how to make progress. But what he keeps on doing, he keeps on pressing the key. And if he observes my which move or which press is actually increasing my score and taking me in the forward direction successfully. Okay, in the similar manner, after so many attempts, the way human being is learning the game, machine can also learn. If we give so many attempts record to machine, machine can also learn which move is increasing the score, which move is decreasing the score. Okay, so this is the way of machine learning. By giving umpteen amount of data set, Yeah, Sandeep, can you please
Okay, I'll start. Yeah.
So initially it is making random jumps. It is not making any progress. But when we keep on pressing, the person will realize how he will be able to make progress without applying much logic. He's learning from his own mistakes, from his own attempts. Okay, so see now the Mario is going in the forward direction, and it is learning how to make progress. Okay, after so many attempts. So few more weeks and it will be a perfect game.
Now it's able to do pretty good. Okay. I think he's stuck. Okay. Okay. Oh, so I figured out how to
So now
overcome
it
this.
is able to
Yeah.
even skip the holes which are coming on the way. It is making a
Yeah.
big jump so that so
Yeah.
it is all about how much the key is pressed and at what time it is pressed. So initially the learner didn't know anything, but after making so many attempts, umpteen number of attempts, it could realize my this much
Yes.
stroke will make me in the right direction. Will
And
make
it found a bug in the game. It was able to, when the Goomba is falling on it, it found a bug in the game that was never known for people. Okay.
it.
All right, go ahead.
So, so it is still.
Yeah, it is. See, it exploited another bug. So this kind of, yeah, so it's basically learning other games also. But when it gets stuck, it just pauses the game, just like my cousins in childhood. That okay. Let's move ahead. Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Raksha. That was a very, very good explanation. Let me move ahead and sorry about it. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, so the way we made progress with so many attempts, human learner makes progress in learning without applying much logic, exactly in the same manner machine learning works as per Arthur Samuel definition, that we are making machine to learn from its own experiences. And from where these experiences come, it comes from the data set itself. Okay, so the main requirement of machine learning or main bottleneck of machine learning is the data set only. If we have enough amount of data set, then machine learning algorithm can be applied. And if we don't have sufficient amount of data set, then we have to first work on collecting the data set. That is the very foundation stage of applying machine learning. So now another terminology is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is like very big umbrella. It covers everything. If you notice the book of artificial intelligence by any author, including Tom Mitchell books, which is like renowned book and very authentic book for artificial intelligence content, it is this much thick book, and that also is not sufficient to cover all the topics of AI. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the biggest umbrella. Data science comes under artificial intelligence, machine learning comes under artificial intelligence, NLP comes under artificial intelligence, game theory comes under artificial intelligence, knowledge reasoning comes under artificial intelligence, logics and reasoning comes under artificial intelligence, and I'm not able to take all the names, but AI is a very big umbrella, and we will be covering. Yeah, so here this diagram makes it clear. We haven't shown other directions or domains of artificial intelligence, but we will be talking about machine learning and deep learning, and the other side is hardware, robots, IoT, sensors. Okay, so when we try to incorporate software into hardware, that also come into artificial intelligence. So robotics is part of artificial intelligence. Getting intelligence through IoT devices or sensors, that is also artificial intelligence. Okay, so this course will mainly focus on the software side. We will be studying how to apply machine learning, deep learning to solve problem statements by programming only. Okay, we won't be talking about the hardware side, considering the benefits of all of us, that we are more interested solving problem statements by coding only or by software only. Okay, so machine showing intelligence like humans or animals is machine learning, and AI is the end objective. So we want to achieve artificial intelligence. It might be through hardware or it might be through software. We are going to talk on the left hand side, the artificial left hand side of the artificial intelligence. Okay, so machine learning and deep learning in hardware are tools to achieve artificial intelligence. So yeah, one noticeable thing in this diagram is that deep learning is a subset of machine learning. It is not independent of machine learning. So one of you asked what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning, and it is very valid question. And we all should know that deep learning is not separate from machine learning. When people say I want to work in deep learning but not in machine learning, this is a wrong statement. Or when people say that I'm very good in deep learning, but I'm not good in machine learning, or I'm good in machine learning, but I'm not good in deep learning. These are actually incomplete statements, or we can say logically wrong statements, because all the algorithms of deep learning. So when we are, all the domains, these are advanced level domains, advanced level courses. So they are getting evolved with time. Researchers are continuously working on it. So machine learning researchers, they are working on machine learning algorithms. They are developing new algorithms. So the current algorithms which we are using, the recent algorithms from after 2017, from the time of word embeddings, since word embeddings came, like word-to-vec embeddings or global vectors came, after that we started working very actively in deep learning. So scientists derived new algorithms and they presented new algorithms for us, which were based on deep machine learning architectures. That's why they were called deep learning algorithms. Okay, but they are not independent from machine learning. They are part of machine learning course only. Okay, so that's the difference between machine learning and deep learning, that there is no difference. One is subset of another. Uh, so Sandeep, would you like to take from here?
Yeah,
Chat.
okay.
Thank
Thank you. All right. So now there's a lot of things that have happened in recent past. And what we are seeing right now as part of AI, machine learning, deep learning, has been going on for forever, probably. Okay. So just before I start, so thank you, Professor Raksha. That was a very good overview of the entire landscape. And we will, yeah. So I'll carry on from here. Now, so what was, so we, as Professor Raksha talked about, that the AI is basically the use case of software and hardware to make things intelligent, and and also that deep learning is a part of machine learning. Now, what we are seeing today, the ChatGPT and GPT-4, it's essentially part of deep deep learning here, somewhere inside this circle, okay, which is part of machine learning, which is part of software. Now, why we are talking about ChatGPT or GPT-4 in this introduction? The reality is that as of today, out of all the intelligence systems, all the AI that we have built, ChatGPT is or GPT-4 or large language models is probably the biggest intelligence. Okay. How many of you actually, please raise your hand, who all know what ChatGPT is? Have you used ChatGPT? Okay. 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 How many? Okay. All right, please raise your hand if you know what ChatGPT is. Okay, okay, okay. Good. Good to see that so many people have raised their hands. Okay. Now, my other next question to all is those who have raised their hands that they what exactly is ChatGPT? Now, my question is, do you understand how it works? How it gives the answers? So ChatGPT, we all know that it is basically a large language model which is able to answer people's questions and and so on, right? So who can answer the question that how does it work? On what basis does it work? Anyone? How does it answer the questions? Anyone? Muhammad, you want to answer? Raise the hands. Go ahead if you want to answer. Unmute and go ahead. Okay. Anybody wants to answer this? No? All right. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we will cover ChatGPT in what much more detail as part of the course. And basically, in simple words, if I have to summarize the entire thing in one or two sentences, is that it learns to predict the next word given first few words, and it keeps on doing over and over. So you can think of it like the way you have on the phone when you have that keyboard, right, on the keyboard, and you type couple of words and it keeps on giving you suggestions, next word suggestions, and you keep on selecting first most common suggestion and it keeps on going and going. So that one, but really intelligent one, which takes into account everything you have written so far. Okay, that's ChatGPT in simple words. So it learns to predict next word to add to the sentence so far. Okay, and that's exactly what I mean, how the ChatGPT works, and that's how it is trained on large data by on large data by predicting the next word to speak. Okay, so basically, the entire thing is started long back. So in the beginning era, when we were doing the natural language processing, what we were doing basically is doing syntactic, right? A sentence has a noun and a verb and this part. So we were doing the syntactic parsing of the sentence, right? Giving the language, we'll basically try to figure out, is this the first word? Is this one found in the dictionary and so on? That was in 50s or 40s, you will say. This is how we were doing the processing, right? We call that syntactic. Later on, machine learning started. So rather than recoding the rules about understanding the language, the I mean, the entire research revolved around how can we make machine learn from the language itself. Okay, lots of systems came into play. There was one model which was trying to fill in the blanks and learn from it, and so on. Then came the GPT, GPT-3. In GPT-3, the idea was very simple. Given a text, predict the next word. That's all. And GPT-4 was basically the next more elaborate version of the same thing. A model which can predict the next word given a prompt. Okay, simple. Given a sentence, what to add to the sentence. That's all. And what OpenAI did was took that GPT model and started fine-tuning it. They took the model and trained it on questions and answers. That if this is the question, give this kind of answer. Okay, that became ChatGPT. And they manually curated lots of questions. They downloaded questions from Quora and all sorts of sources, and they created really good data set and fine-tuned it on question answers. GPT was basically trained to predict the next word. Okay, it will become extremely important to learn these ideas and and how to use these ideas as part of your job, career. Using GPT or ChatGPT, you can build lots of things. Using the embeddings of GPT, we'll learn those things later. You can build a search engine for your organizational data that that will search based on the meaning of things. Based on the meaning of things. Like frog and toad are similar things. So it'll basically, if you search for frog, it'll also give you the results on toad because it understands the meaning. So earlier people were searching on keywords. Now ChatGPT is able to search based on the meaning of things. Okay, it's under we GPT is able to understand that. So you can build language model, sentiment analysis. You can do automated responses on large language text. You can generate the code. You can basically the way the world I'm seeing evolving is this that AI or you can say large language model will be like an operating system and then it'll interact with all the systems. Just like we do, that okay, if somebody asks us a question, we open the calculator and answer. Sometimes we basically look at our watch and give the answer. Like if somebody asks me time, I'll basically look at my watch and answer. If somebody asks me to do some calculation, I'll just open my calculator and do that. If somebody asks me a complex question, I'll probably go in Excel and do that. So the way I'm using all kinds of tools, the AI bot will be using those all kinds of tools and answer the question. So this is the evolving era that we are seeing now. The world is going to move in that direction. Like, for example, the way on Amazon, on Amazon right now, you see there are so many menus and there are so many buttons on the page. That all will be replaced with text-based Q&A. You will ask a question in text, it will answer. Just like if you guys have seen those mom and pop stores where you go to the shop and tell it, can you give me this and that, and this person understands it and basically gives you. So similar to that, that will be the future of most of the e-commerce portal or any other online website portal, that instead of you understanding the website, hunting for the thing, hunting for doing comparison, doing all that, you'll basically go to the website, say that I'm looking for something that solves the leaking water in my house, and it will give you that, okay, here is a tape and here is this, here is that, that can help you solve this. So essentially the GPT, the momentum that has started in December 2019, the chat GPT specifically, has proven that language revolution is real. And as of today, since I'm working in this field, there are so many new companies, new websites, everything is being revamped, right? Just like in 2000s when everybody was making website, people are now revamping websites and implementing the GPT based systems or chat GPT systems as of today, because this is a big magnitude of change. Okay. And this thing is extremely real. This is very real. And this is going to be much more obvious going forward that as of today you have ChatGPT and then Google has also launched Bard and Gemini and so on. So there will be these large companies who are trying to train the models, and these models are pretty large in size, but everybody will be using these models. the small players and individuals and so on. Okay. And as of now, it is able to write code, and rather than people writing code, it is able to generate SQL, generate code, and so on. Now, imagine this. You go to the website and you ask, can you tell me what what is that product? What is that product that that my grandmother can use for peeling potatoes? Okay, and it gives you suggestions on those products and all kinds of products. Now, and in the back end, it'll take the question from you, right? If you think about it, if you have to build it using this, it'll take a question from you. It will generate a query or it will generate a code and execute that code to answer your question. So the AI as of today is pretty good at generating code in SQL. And this is basically the most significant AI intelligence that we have developed so far. And this is important because even though we have had the large language model topic in our course as part of our language processing, we had RNN based GPT. We built the GPT model like Shakespearean text, where what we will do is we have this one very important project. If you have used CloudxLab, you must have seen that project. What you do is you have to build the Shakespeare. We have the lots of text available on the website in the project. All the we have the text as in the books written by Shakespeare. And using those books, you have to create Shakespeare, which can talk like Shakespeare and create new essays or new paragraphs, and it can speak like Shakespeare. That was the project when I launched my course in 20, I think 17 or 18 for the first time. We had that since then. Okay, very important part. So the same thing has evolved today into GPT and now the chat GPT and so on. So there's a plethora of work that is happening in this domain. And we will basically focus a lot on the large language models and generative AI. Generative AI is nothing but part of the deep neural network. It's basically the models and the techniques which are used in creating images, creating text, creating audio, basically generating. So you will see lots of exercises. There is a one project whereby you have to build a model which can clean an image, given a very low resolution and dirty image, you'll have to clean it. Okay. Then there is a project on generative adversarial networks whereby we learn how to create new clothes, right? Pant, cloth, right? It learns to create pant and shirt, and then we mix it, and then it creates a mix of the two. And that's a very interesting part. And you will see that magic happening. And we'll do that, right? What happens when you mix a kid and adult, the photo of the two, and how does it look? So those kind of generative work has been going on for quite some time. But the biggest innovation has happened after DALL-E came and the stable diffusion came. So the generative AI and large language models are something you can think of it as an application of deep neural networks, machine learning, and or you can say that these are the advanced chapters which rely heavily upon your fundamental knowledge of machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so we'll talk about these things in detail, and there are quite messages on the chat. Okay, okay, all right. There's a question from Rajat in the given Venn diagram, Gen AI would be set interaction of this. Yeah, thank you, Shub, for answering that question. What is the difference between deep learning and neural networks? Okay, thank you, Shub, for answering that question. Okay. Yes. Okay. A question from Sarvan Kumar. What is word embedding mean? Uh, uh, and basically, yeah, what Professor Raksha meant when she said word embedding was that we represent the words or sentences by some bunch of numbers. Okay, these bunch of numbers are such that the things that are similar, their numbers are closer. Like frog and toad will be appearing nearby, goat and sheep will appear nearby as compared to goat and cow, and like that. So you come up with those, the models come up with those numbers such that things which are similar would be close by, things that are unsimilar meaningfully are far away. Okay. Now, all right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Salil's point was it has a decoder transformer architecture. We'll study the transformer attention and the the encoder decoder architecture in more details. Okay, as part of the course. Yes, thank you, Salil. It's a stochastic parrot. Kind of, yes. But if you see from that, yes, so it's a very important point that it's a stochastic parrot, meaning it is basically partly random, partly statistically giving the answer, the LLMs, right? It is auto-completing the sentence, right? It is suggesting the next word. But if you see, we all are stochastic parrots. And that's a discovery that has happened. People realize that the intelligence with respect to language is actually the way we look at the ChatGPT. This is exactly how it is. Nobody, I mean, in childhood, people taught me to learn English, you have to refer to the dictionary and blah and blah. But the reality is that to learn language, you just need to listen, listen and interact with more people, meaning you learn to predict next word and you read more books. And that's how you do that. And this is a discovery that we learn things by, we learn, we learn the language by reading the language. Okay. And we infer the meaning of a word from its neighboring words. And that became a very, very, very popular thing. And that led to the large language models. And large language models is not new. People have been trying to do that for quite some time. Okay. A question from Rajat. For Professor Raksha, or anyone having knowledge of the same, can MCA graduate pursue PhD in um, deep learning at IIT Roorkee? Can MCA graduate pursue the PhD? Um, I think Professor Raksha, are you around? I think she's left for now. Okay, never mind. I think you can write to her, and probably one of my teammate can write to her. And so, as far as I understood, that it requires probably a master's program, MTech program, and that too they have to complete a certain curriculum for starting the course. Okay, and for starting the PhD, they have to complete the certain this. I think they require MTech also, but I'm not sure. I'm just making a educated guess. The being a stochastic parrot. Okay. I like that sentence. Stochastic parrot. Okay. Now, okay, we'll probably connect you with Professor Raksha. And there is also the experience one where you have, if you have a industry experience about 14 years, you can go for PhD directly. Okay. But I'm not sure if that program is still up. Okay. All right. A point from Shivanshu is that NLP transformer predicts text, including the next word or paragraph based on its training. Yes. Okay. Which is the best, ChatGPT, Bard, or Bing? Okay. Though this is very tempting, but I'll keep myself away from flame wars. And any relationship between LLM and prompt engineering? Of course, there is. Yeah. Thank you, Shub, for answering that. And thank you, Shub, for answering what is prompt engineering. Perfect. Perfect. Great. Wonderful. A question from Guru Nathan is, what does training a model mean? For example, how to train ChatGPT for my data? Very good question. Very good question. Question is, what does it mean by training a model? Okay. And it's a hard thing to understand at first. Okay. I'll give you a very good example. You are in a new city, and in this new city, you go, you are living in a hotel and you go to take bath, right? You do not know which knob is for cold water, which knob is for hot water, and so on. You get into the bathroom and you start tweaking these knobs smartly and cleverly and figure out what's the best temperature for you of the water. Is it the and you yourself by doing a bit of hit and trial and bit of clever guesses, clever optimization, you figure out what temperature is good for you, right? So what you actually did is what algorithms would do in case of machine learning. That we have an objective called taking bath with good water, good temperature water, and we have these knobs to tweak. And before taking bath, we basically tweak it. And next day, when we want to take bath again, we don't have to tweak from the beginning. We know exactly, okay, this one should be kept here, this one should be kept here. That's my best position, right? So the knobs here are the model, okay? This is bunch of knobs, or you can say numbers, that you can put it, save it in a file and mark it on the wall. That's basically the numbers, right? So similarly, when ChatGPT is trying to predict the next word, it has billion knobs with it. So it's tweaking those billion knobs in order to predict the next word given the prompt. Okay? Given the prompt, it's trying to match with the next word. This is a cow. So this is followed by cow. So it will tweak the knobs so that it matches the output, and then it keeps on doing that. So this bunch of knobs is what we call models. In case of ChatGPT, these knobs are about a billion in numbers, a billion. Okay. So we tweak these knobs, we call them weights, and this whole bundle of knobs is called model. Okay. When we say training the model means when we went to take bath, we kept on tweaking the knobs for on the first day. On the first day. So we were training the model or tweaking the model to match our expectations. Okay. So training the model means giving the data, as in the given, this is the data that when the input is this and I am the one, I'm expecting this. Okay, this is the data. So given the past experiences, to match those past experiences or to learn from them, to learn from the past experience, we tweak these knobs called model. That tweaking is called the training. Now, once you have trained the model, you don't need to keep training every time you want to use it. So training is costly and using it is less costly. Okay. For training, you require lots and lots of computers because there are a billion knobs to tweak. Therefore, you need a very powerful computer that will go over all these knobs and keep on tweaking them, right? all the time in order to match the expectation. So you need like a billion, you need really, really powerful computer for the same. Okay. So that's exactly the training. So training is costly. Tweaking the knobs first day is costly, but next day, since we have already figured out what are those positions of the knob, meaning we have already trained the model, we just load the model. We just go to the bathroom, take the knobs to that position. I'm happy. The water comes out warm and we don't have to tweak them again. We don't have to wait for, we don't have to spend or waste our time in training it. So that's the difference between training and inference or using. Okay. So training means tweaking the knobs and so on. Now, training is costly. You don't train the GPT models. If you are like as a general user, you don't. Only the people with really powerful computers, they train the model. Okay. They train the model. What you do is you provide it context. You cleverly provide it context so that it gives you good answers. You don't you don't really keep on training the model. Okay. Usually, unless you are the big guys like OpenAI or Google. I hope I answered your question, Guru Nathan. How does model access the data? Do we have to give the data to the model, or how the model, you have to present it when you are training the model or you're using the model, you have to give the data to the model. Okay. Sometimes you can the new systems such as ChatGPT or Bard, what they have is something called a plugin architecture. Okay. So you build the plugin, meaning the model will figure out, you will ask a question saying, here is a question. Can you suggest which API or function call to do? Okay. Here is Here's a list of functions that I have. Which of these functions is suitable to this situation? Okay. So it'll figure out which functions to call and so on. And when you have that function, you can use that function to access the corresponding data. So that way, the model kind of selected the data to choose from, and then it's accessing that data. Okay, so take a look at the plugin architecture and then you'll get the idea. Okay, what about testing data? How much data is needed? Thank you, Sub, for this. How does the model remember the prediction or insight it provided and give the same for the next time? Does it use any memory maps? Good question. Good question. So I think you are talking about in case of a chat GPT, we give the first question, then next one, and it kind of carries over the context. It kind of carries over the context, right? In the next, in the when you are having the conversation. So basically, it every time you're asking a question, it is sending to ChatGPT the entire history. Internally, that's what is happening. Though that entire history, when it becomes big, it summarizes it and makes it shorter. And it keeps on doing that over and over. All right. I hope that made sense to you. Our question is, can you please give some example of synthetic data? Okay, thank you, Shub, for answering that. What type of database does it use? Um, okay, what type of database does it as in what? It the 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 ChatGPT, it doesn't basically, it's a model. You can ask it to generate a SQL query and you can tell it which database you are having. So it'll generate the query accordingly and you can basically connect with the database and execute those queries. Okay. How does it retain the training over sessions? Yeah. So see, across all sessions, the model remain the same. Okay. It doesn't learn from each session as such. Okay. It is only keeping each sessions as a context to carry over. So it's sort of whenever you are giving a prompt, it basically gives the answer, and that's about it. Okay, we'll go into more details about large language models as part of the course. I want to just give you a brief overview of how does a typical workflow of building and machine learning model is. Building an ML model is, right? And yes, even though you might think that I'll ask ChatGPT the answer to all the questions, that is not going to happen. Imagine that you have, let me ask this. Okay, one of the things that I all the time face is that what's the point of learning machine learning when the chat GPT can do everything? Okay. The thing is, it's all the more required now. Okay. So the complex problems are not still solvable straight by ChatGPT. You have to, like the cases where you have a predictive model. Let's say you have, say, 50,000 records, and you are trying to predict the house pricing. Okay. Now, you can't feed in those 50,000 records to ChatGPT and say, hey, here is a model. Why don't you learn from it? And then, sorry, here is the data of 50,000 records. Why don't you learn from it and give me answers to my question? Okay. It can't because it can't. Number one, it doesn't know how to deal with numbers that well. Number two, its prompt size limit is very small. It can't handle that big a prompt. Okay. So you have to build the machine learning models still. The difference is that we never knew how to deal with the language or when, let's say, you have sentiment analysis kind of tasks. So the kind of analysis we did was very rudimentary in the past. But now we convert these sentences into embeddings using LLMs and then use the standard machine learning or deep learning in the flow. This typical workflow is common for almost everything, and you should know these parts very clearly. The entire process in an organization starts with gathering data. To gather data, we have the databases. Now, the databases are not sufficient, the traditional one. So you might have to have distributed databases, and we call them NoSQLs. Then we have file storage. You can keep the data in file. But now, if your files are too many and the data is too much in form of files, you can't keep on one computer. You need multiple computers. And that's where you need things like HDFS. Now, there could be the data that is continuously flowing, okay? Continuously flowing, that's just coming in and so on. So that data needs to be captured as and when that's coming. So that is basically handling Kafka, or you can say any queue-based systems. Queue-based systems, file-based systems, or databases. So those kind of places where you keep the data. So the gathering the data requires much more understanding of entire phenomenon. And usually call this part as data engineering. Now, then comes the basic ETL, converting unstructured data into structured data. That's part it called ETL. So we gather the data, clean the data, and then we start doing the basic analysis. Give me those records where city is this, and so on. That kind of like basic analysis. Okay. That can be done using SQL queries. And when the data is very big, you need to use the queries on big data such as Spark SQL and so on. Afterward, the kind of analysis you need to do might be requiring machine learning. That here are the transaction, can you tell me which of these transactions are outliers? Okay, to give that answer, you need to do the machine learning. Afterwards, you might have to optimize machine learning algorithms. Might have to go for deeper neural networks and so on. So and as you see that this is a standard flow of things in an organization. It starts with NoSQLs, relational databases, and unstructured data and continuous data. And then these Spark, MapReduce, and those kind of tools. And then for basic analysis, you have Spark SQL and so on. And for using machine learning algorithm, you have scikit-learn, MLA, GraphX, and so R, and so on. And deeper neural network, when you want to, optimize and so on, you have you need to have an understanding of algorithms, and you need to have an understanding of various models and the TensorFlow. Now, once you have done all of that, what you need next, once you have built your model and you're happy, you need to put it in some app, correct? You need to build a website or web app or mobile app or something in which this model would give answers, will give suggestions, okay? And that part I call it productionizing, okay? For productionizing a machine learning, you need to do lots of things. You need to maybe create a server, create a server which can be accessed using URLs. We call that REST APIs. Building an Android app. Then you have to deploy the app. And for deploying the app, you need to have an understanding of DevOps. Okay. So this is the standard workflow, and these are the various skills required. And in this course, we have all of these covered. Though DevOps is a separate course, but you can basically just add that to your portfolio and so on. Okay. Now, career in machine learning. Okay. As of today, every senior engineer's role had turned into machine learning, to be very honest. And every engineer is basically going to be machine learning engineer at the end of the day. Okay. There'll be data scientist. There is a title called data scientist. So they're the names of the same thing in industry. So whether you call them machine learning engineers, data engineers, senior engineers, machine learning researchers, and so on. Researchers are a little bit ahead, whereby they don't have to have experience onto building website or building web app or mobile app. They need to have an experience in building new models. Okay. The kind of expectation when you're going as a machine learning engineer, you should have an understanding of basic libraries. You should be able to clean data and acquire data and so on. You should have an understanding of machine learning concepts. Machine learning concepts are same across all the systems, whether you're using Python, R, scikit-learn, or any other library, or Java, or anything. The machine learning concepts are identical, whether you're using PyTorch or TensorFlow, any software library or software language you are using, the basic concepts of maths remain the same. Regression, classification, all of those things, overfitting, underfitting, and so on. All of those machine learning concepts are very much valid. Then you should have the basics of understanding of maths. And all of this part is actually covered in the course. And of course, to be successful in any job, you have to have clear communication. Okay. And again, communication is not an isolated thing. When you study this, study that, you'll have better terminology, better understanding of words when somebody says precision or somebody says false positive, right? You should not zone out. Okay. That's communication. Okay. You will be able to understand and communicate the problem statement better. The process usually is where you have a tech round and screening and machine learning and behavioral. This process changes for everyone, but keeping in mind all kinds of hiring processes, we have designed the course in a way that we go for the programming part first, coding. Okay, that's why we spend good amount of time in coding, and then we go for detailed, uh, advanced problems. We actually even solve a couple of machine learning problem even in the basic Python course. Okay, now right, because that is the most fundamental thing, and then we go for machine learning, and then we go for deep learning and so on. So that's basically to keep keeping in mind the entire flow of hiring. Okay, so that's what I've just discussed. And so we have those who have not enrolled, please feel free to enroll in this course. This is probably the deepest course online. And I'll just share the link with all of you. Those who have not attended, they can, those who are attending this session for the first time, they can go for this course. I mean, enroll right away. All right. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Any other questions left that is not yet answered? Shubh, is there a question that is left that is not answered?
No, I have provided the attendance form in the chat box so everyone can fill it to receive the certificate.
Um, Thank you, Professor Raksha. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, Guru. Thank you, Shubh. Thank you, Abhishek, Aditya. Yeah. Special thank you to everyone. Gurunathan, you have a question? You have raised a hand. Please go ahead. Your mic doesn't seem to be available. Okay. Question from Gurunathan is, towards the ends of the course, can you please walk through the LLM and also where do you access the recordings? Yeah. See, the LLMs, we would like to go into more details in this course. And if you are in hurry, we will provide you the content from previous class and other things. You can go ahead with that. And we can have the discussion, the one-on-one discussion later. Okay, that is my suggestion. Okay. Question is, where do we access the recordings? Those who have enrolled in the course, right? They should see in their My Courses. In My Courses, Sachin, do you want to walk through the My Courses? Okay. Or Shubh, you can walk through the My Courses, is it?
Yeah, my courses, let me just share my screen and walk everyone through it.
Okay.
Just give me a moment.
A question from Vic is that will it be recognized by WES? I think it is recognized by WES, but I think you should check WES. But if the verification of certificate comes, the IIT Roorkee will be able to verify it. Okay? So you can always ask for verification certificate. A question from Aditya is, what does the term regression mean? Regression means that predicting a value, right? The person's salary, one year experience is 5 lakhs, 2 years experience is 10 lakh, then 3 years experience is 12 lakh, like that. So now you have these numbers and you want to predict what will be the salary when the experience will be this much. This is called regression. As opposed to classification, where we are classifying good versus bad, we are classifying A, B, C, 3 categories, and so on. Okay. So that's the difference between regression and classification. We'll go into more details in this course as go ahead, don't worry about it. Okay.
So first of all, thank you, Sandeep and Professor Raksha, for walking everyone through it. And for the people who have enrolled or let's say thinking to where they can access the recordings and everything. So basically, this recording will be sent via email to everyone. But for future recordings, which that will be exclusive for the people who are enrolled in the course. So there would be a playlist. There would be a topic called recordings. We will add that most probably by today or tomorrow. So under that, you will be able to access it. Let's say I'll just walk you through how basically this thing works. So here I'm seeing a lot of courses because I have this admin account, but you will see only one course or let's say a few other courses which we give as complimentary. So this will be your course name, which says that PG Certificate Program in Data Science and AI by CCIIT Roorkee. And to go there, basically what you have to do is you have to click on your profile. After logging in, you have to click on your profile and click on My Courses. After clicking on My Courses, you will be redirecting you'll be redirected here in the My Course page. And these are the topics which will basically you have to walk, like everyone have to do this as part of the self-paced content. And how to do this is basically click on any topic and click on start. There are some extra CTAs which I'm seeing because of the admin account. You won't be able to see that, like, and the UI will be more clear for you. And this is the lab on the right hand side where you have to execute the code. So what Sandeep has showed in the beginning, like how the cloud lab works. So these are the credentials. Everyone must have got it, like who have enrolled. And as soon as I enter the username and password and click on sign in, I'll see a Jupyter console because this is a Linux playlist, and by default it will open a Linux console where we can execute the commands. Let's say I'll execute pwd. That basically tells me like what is my present working directory. So it will show me here. So whatever the instructor would ask you to do it, you on the left hand side. Let's say I'll go to the next slide on some. This is just lab overview, so no exercises in this playlist. And to uh, count it as course progress, basically you have to click on mark as completed. By doing it, you will get some XP points, and this will be counted as the course progress. Okay. And let's take an example of something where you have to do something. Linux basics. Okay. In this playlist, let's say create directory. I'm opening. So here the instructor is asking me to perform some operations where the instructor is saying teaching how to create a directory using mkdir command. So the instruction says that use the console on the right hand side. If the console is not visible, then please click on the console button. The console is already visible. Type cd. Okay, so I'm typing cd, and then create a directory with the name xyz in your home directory. So currently I'm in my home directory, and I'll create a directory using mkdir command, mkdir xyz. As soon as I do it, it says already exists. So I might have created earlier. So I'll click on submit answer, and voila, this works. Okay. So whenever you get stuck, what you have to do is basically if you would scroll down, you'll see there is a comment section and people are basically helping each other. And Shubh is also very active here, and other engineers from the team will also help you. So you can always leave a comment, and you can always ask a question by emailing us at reachus@cloudxlab.com, and you will receive a reply very soon. And if you, let's say, if some your comment gets missed, so you can also drop an email to get some hint. So you can click here, but that will cost you minus 10 XP. And if you directly want to see the answer, then you can click on the answer. So this is our simple exercises, and there would be much more than that in future playlist. So this is how this works. And if you directly want to go to like CloudxLab, use, let's say, console, Jupyter, or Ambari, you can directly go here in the profile icon. If you click, there is an option called My Lab. And from here, you can open the console, Jupyter, and Ambari in a new tab. You can also use the MySQL, and you have to just run this command in the MySQL, in the console, and you will be able to use. So this was the walkthrough of the my course page, and everyone who is enrolled have to do a specific set of exercises. There is a completion percentage which will be shared with you. So let's say I have completed this course only 11%. So there is a percentage which you have to do to get the certificate. Okay. So this was it. And if you have any questions, you feel free to ask. So let me allow everyone to unmute so that we can take questions one by one. Yeah, Gurunathan, go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for clarifying that. I think you said the recordings will be as a separate folder under
Yeah.
this same course. Yeah, that's Good.
Yeah.
So, and the access will be through the end of the course, right? For the next year.
No. So at access, basically access would be lifetime. Okay. The
No,
course access is
for the
lifetime.
lab, for the lab.
Yeah, lab access is limited. Lab access is only 365 days, which is the course duration. After that, you can extend the lab access also. Like it comes at a very nominal price. If you, let's say, want to extend this, so you can extend that part. Otherwise, the
So,
content, the self-paced content and recording will be available for the lifetime.
okay. Will we have a published schedule of when the classes are so we can plan? And the
Yeah,
next question, okay, because I don't know if there is a class tomorrow or if there is a class next week. Is there that's going to be published? And secondly, since you have the course materials already and there is also a live class, I wanted to understand if we need to do some things prior to coming to the class every time, or is the course material supposed to be done after the class, means so that it can be
yeah,
clear.
good question.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Gurunathan, for asking this. So, see, the expectations are that as you are enrolling in a AI course, right? So, the expectations are basically whenever you are coming to the class, you walk through something. Just start with the self-paced content, the basic thing like Python tutorials are there, then Linux tutorials. Just walk through them, and from the next class, this would be more clear because right now. Like it is the public webinar currently. So the thing is that the team will share a proper schedule in a sheet with you. Okay. And there won't be a class tomorrow. The class might be next week. The team will basically share the schedule in the WhatsApp group and over the email also, right? And for every this thing, for every class you will receive a notification also, so that will be added to the Google Calendar or something. So you will receive the notification if there is going to be the class tomorrow or this weekend or whenever. Okay. And the basic expectations for the next lecture will be shared by the instructors, respective instructor, whether Sandeep, Raksha, or anyone, Professor Raksha or anyone. So basically they will tell you that okay, these are the expectations for the next lecture, and they will tell you what everyone has to go through.
Yeah, thank you, Sachin. I'll also like to reiterate the same thing. So the way I would or any other instructor would do is that will declare that these are the topics we are covering today in the Q&A, and you can ask those questions. But even if your question is of a future topic, you can ask it, and the instructor will make sure that the question is clear to everyone, even those who have not looked at that topic, and would answer your question in that way. Now, the live classes, our expectation is that you use the live classes to resolve your doubt, okay? Because there's a lot of exercises, lot of content available in the course, in my courses, and most of the content is well done in the video form. So my suggestion will be that utilize the live classes for Q&A or doubt clearing, or probably, let's say there is a particular topic that is not clear to you. You say that, okay, I'm not able to understand what does it mean by logistic regression. Okay, so instructor will basically explain that in more detail. I think that is the format we always prefer. And sometimes the instructor would basically give you an complete overview of a particular topic. So that way. Okay. Yeah. That is the format that we usually go. But yeah, you can, in case the things like the entire topic is not clear to anybody in the class, then we basically go in a linear way, like a usual lecture. Okay. Because I mean, my always request to the all the people in the class is that utilize the time of instructor to get the answers as much as possible. Okay. Of course, the team is available to answer your question over the forum, over the email, over the chat, but live class hours are limited from professors. So I think you can utilize the time to have more detailed discussions. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So the first thing you want us to start with is Python or Linux or something?
Yeah. Git
Thank you.
Linux and Python. Git Linux and Python, because that's like fundamental. I want everybody to, get going. Even if you're good with Python or any other language, just finish it, finish the basics, the way we have designed. And we realize that the fundamental knowledge is what it takes for people to get ahead in the career. Though what what gets you selected is probably a tag that you have a machine learning or deep learning knowledge, but what clears the interview, what helps you clear the interview is this fundamental knowledge. Like you should know Linux, you should know machine learning, you should know Python, you should know Git, you should know SQL and general data science. So that's why we have this entire course looks actually pretty big and still aggressive. Okay, it's like a master's course, 2 years course bundled into 1 year course. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, good, very good set of questions. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Sandeep, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do we know which topic? I mean, if I see the course material, there are so many topics
Yeah.
under which so many subtopics also present. How
Yeah.
do we know before a class what are all the topics and subtopics we need to cover before coming to the class?
Okay. So I think Sachin, can you share the course again? Yeah, I'm not logged into that account. Or is it available in my account as well?
Yeah, sure. They should be available for you.
Okay, let me see.
I'll share.
Yeah, go ahead with the sharing.
Yeah, I've shared the screen. Can you see?
Yeah. So my request to everyone as of now would be start going linearly from the topic one. Finish the Linux basics immediately. Okay. And whatever you can finish till the next week, you should finish. But my expectation is that you should be through with the Linux chapter by next class. Next class is going to be next Saturday. I mean, coming Saturday, not next Saturday. Okay. Tomorrow there's no class. Okay. And yeah, so you come up with you finish the Linux topic, and I mean, it's completely okay if you are able to go ahead. But my expectation is that everybody should finish the Linux topic by next week. Okay, and yeah, maybe you might feel at points that, oh, what's the point of learning Linux? But don't worry, I have experimented enough, and I know for sure that the engineers or people, researchers who are with the Linux knowledge are able to solve problems and get the work done quickly, and as compared to those who do not have a Linux exposure. Okay, so yeah, that would be my request. Okay.
So, is it only the Linux, the topic 3, or up to topic 3 from topic 1 to topic 3? The expectation here.
This is see, the topic two is optional. It is kind of a reference, okay? That those who are looking to understand various tools that are in the lab, they can go ahead into the detail. And if you're curious about what tools are there, how do they work, you can go ahead. But on one and two are basically not, part of it. It more is like topic three. So, but one will be useful when you get to do hands-on with the lab. So I would say that the topic three is my expectation. One and two is obvious. Okay. One and two you can ignore. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, Sandeep.
So Sandeep, just to build on what Srikanth and forgetting the other gentleman who mentioned the same thing before is would love to prepare in advance, and it would be ideal to just have the syllabus that you are expecting to cover for that day, so we can prepare and the related topics, so we can prepare in advance and show up with questions,
Yeah.
and intelligent questions ideally.
Exactly. There's no intelligent question, I'll tell you, or there's no dumb question. Matter. Yeah,
Fair,
yeah.
fair.
My request, my honest, open-hearted thing for everyone is that in our classes, ask questions. Okay. The the way the I mean these classes are executive classes in which everyone has paid their from their own pockets, right? And it's very, very critical that you ask questions, everyone. And my request to everyone in the class is that don't worry, don't think that somebody else's question is stopping the class. It's actually, in my experience, the other way. So I had this alumni meet for CloudxLab in Bangalore before coming here, and people shared their experiences, those who are placed everywhere. And one of the common theme was that the, their main learning happened when they listened to each other's questions. So that this person explained that in my so he went for the interview, and it was a blockchain blockchain company, and they asked about blockchain and other things, and he was able to explain something called hash code and checksum that I happened to answer a question by somebody else in the class, and he just explained that this is how things work, and that is something that serendipitous, and people learn from each other in the class. And every instructor is quite open to questions, and we so feel free, and that's a big difference. You will notice that we all will be there. Now, coming to back to your question is with respect to that, should I come prepared? Yes, you should come prepared. And based on how the class is going, the instructor will tell like what topics to come prepared with. Today, I'm telling that come prepared with Linux in the next one. Finish the exercises, topic 3. All the exercises are there. You will have a little difficult time in the beginning, but soon enough you will just finish it in probably 30 minutes or so. Okay, so come prepared with that, and yeah, dig deeper into it. If you got more time, start working on Git, start working on foundations of Python, and it's completely okay to go ahead. But for the next week, my expectation is the Linux.
Sounds
Okay.
good, Sandeep. Thanks. So again,
Mhm.
the request was for a schedule that we can follow, just so we have like an idea of what's coming. But what you mentioned is you will essentially let us know the week prior
Yeah,
of your expectations.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Thanks so much for that.
yeah. So like what usually happens is that things start coming up all the time. Like when we were doing Python, and I realized that let's do sentiment analysis as part of Python and using large language models. Okay. And
Right.
this sounded like a very weird idea that course is not yet started and we are talking about large language. I mean, I'm talking about the previous batch. So,
Mm-hmm.
and so because of which the Python course got extended a bit. Okay. And the thing is, I'm just being very, very honest and want to tell you the thought process behind the schedule. Okay. On one hand, we have, uh, you know, we are in a domain where things are happening every day, right? Every day,
100%.
hundreds of papers are being published on machine learning, specifically machine learning, the AI, the domain that we are in. Like we have to change each and every slide every month. Every month, new course, and we have to change everything, you know. And so there will be changes to the curriculum. There will be changes to the schedule based on how the class is moving. Okay. Though we have a tentative sequence order of things, the way you are seeing it, but it will be injustice to all of you if I make the schedule very rigid, because I will, that way, I will not leave a space for new introduction to the topics. And also, one important thing to for everyone to know is that innovation in education happens when hard topic should be explained to in the beginning. Like, let's say somebody asks me to teach me large language model in the before Python. I can do that just like we did just now with the bathroom tap example. So the innovation in education happens even in terms of explanation. So, and this innovation keeps on happening, and because of that, because of those innovation also, curriculum will keep on changing. Okay. Like sometimes earlier I was thinking that we should keep the large language model before reinforcement learning. Okay. In my previous topic, in my previous course, the large language model was before the reinforcement learning. But because of the way ChatGPT is designed and everything, we realized that it's better to move the large language model after reinforcement learning because there is something called RLHF. So we had to change the sequence order. We had to change the content and substance we teach in each topic. And so schedule will be fluid. That will something that I'm saying. What will be important would be that or I or any other instructor, whoever is taking the class, we will declare for 1 week that this is a general sequence. This is where are we going, and this is how we will attempt, and we will do that. Okay. My key performance indicator for the course is that all of you should be able to handle machine learning interviews. All of you should be able to answer hard questions. That will be my key performance indicator for the course. Okay.
Thanks, Sandeep, for setting the expectations, and I
Thank you.
totally agree with the
And
thought process. Thank you.
yeah, Sandeep, are you able to hear me as well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, Sandeep. So my query here is, I did gone through this topic 3, 4, and 6 actually, the
Okay.
Linux Git, but I still feel like, my knowledge. I mean, I'm not feeling entirely confident with these topics. I feel like something is missing
Mhm.
which I should be improving on. Like
Mhm.
Linux basics
Mhm.
is, just set of commands. But if you go deep into Linux, it's a technology in itself, right? The operating
Yeah,
system.
yeah,
So I feel like lot many things left out, and then
yeah,
same happening with Git. I feel like I'm not entirely sure how to like my concepts remain unclear for some time. And then
yeah,
in fact in Python, like I struggle with two particular topics here, like a regular expression and your
yeah,
socket programming, I guess.
yeah,
So I feel like something has to be done. So I start going to
yeah,
over internet and try digging deep into it, but hardly able to find the exact content
yeah, yeah, yeah,
of these materials. So I mean, my question here is now, are there any books that you can refer
yeah,
us
yeah,
so that can help us, in nailing down the concepts basically
yeah,
around these topics? Yeah,
yeah,
because that's after these 6 modules, I stop doing the self study because I feel like I'm leaving a lot more things unturned and unclear. So I
okay,
feel like there's no point continuing for me if those gaps are there. So what's your
okay,
suggestion would be in
yeah.
that space?
My suggestion is this. One, like my answer to this question is threefold. Okay. First is uh, ask those questions if you have, let's say you are going through Linux basics. Okay.
Yeah,
And there is any doubt, just ask. Just below exercise, there is a comment section. Just ask then and there. Okay. And go through the comments of other people. How are they doing? Okay. And what they're
yeah,
saying. Okay. So the second, yeah, that is the first thing. Second is utilize the live classes for answering the doubts. I'll make sure that you understand regex really well.
yeah.
Probably, I've been using regex since probably 2002. Yeah, 2002.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
and my team as well is pretty good with regex, so they will help you out. So nothing to worry on that. So all of these topics, whatever doubt clearing is there, you ask then and there with
Okay.
to the people. And so don't worry. It's a standard learning curve. Okay. And the more doubts you have, it is just a sign that you know what you don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a very good sign, right? The first, like, otherwise it would have been, if you know everything, probably there's something wrong. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's a good sign and it's good position to be in. And I would want everybody to be in that position at least that, okay, I know at least something. I know at least that this piece is not clear to me. That is a good place to be in. Okay. Next point I'm trying to make is that in case of Linux basics, I have purposefully trimmed down the curriculum. I wanted to go into much more detail, but then I realized that those details are not really needed for a machine learning engineer or machine learning researcher. You need to know how to use Linux to get your work done. And that's where we have kept it there. Second, with respect to Python, also we have made sure that we are not going into, say, Django or a web application development or something specific. We are basically going into something that is useful for all kinds of things. In case
Yeah.
of in case of Git, everything that's covered in these two chapters is actually more than sufficient. The only thing you would require is start working more and more and get stuck, solve it, get stuck, solve it. So the more you do it, the better you'll get. And the feeling that you are having is that's a feeling that I get when when I'm ready to deep dive. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a stage. So you are like 40% into it, and remaining 60% you just start doing and solving problems. Okay. Now coming back to your next question. Your next question was with respect to the reference material or a book.
Yeah.
Okay. For the course, we usually focus on a book called Machine Learning and Deep Learning by Aurelie and Jaron. Okay.
Okay. Message that book name in the
Can you
chat.
please?
So it would.
Yeah. That's what I was going.
Okay, so this is basically the most complete book I have seen on the topic. Just see if you want to buy, or you can also get probably some soft copy or something. But I would recommend that you buy the book. I'm a big fan of this person. He's a good friend as well. I am like a I luckily, he came to meet when I was going to Singapore, and I was giving a talk at Google. So I would say that you should buy the book. It's a good book, and just see if this is the latest version. Okay. So yeah, the
Mhm.
colored lizard is the one which is latest. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, and
San Sandeep, sorry to interrupt. If we go through this book, will it be enough for us to get the knowledge for machine learning, or it should be much more practical based and more exercise based that we are expecting?
yeah. So the book is designed to be hands-on. Okay. And on top of one is most of the lectures, we are very much focused in a way, because out of all the books, the book that I finalized is this one because it's the most complete and it is very hands-on. Okay. And it's a fairly large book. And it's probably I mean, in my opinion, it's like very complete book. Okay. It would be, I mean, if you see the projects we have, if you go for, and in this course, there are like multiple, like 10, 15 projects. So my request will be that this, along with doing the Kaggle projects, okay, for programming, do the lead code along with it, lead code, hacker rank, or there are these online platform where you can start competing. Okay, that will make you better in coding. Maybe in the beginning you will not get good rank, but after a while you will start getting better in. The programming as a skill is like a, more of a practice game. Okay. Machine learning and deep learning, 90% is a knowledge game. 80% is knowledge game, 20% is practice game. Okay. So for learning programming, focus on practicing. For learning machine learning and deep learning, focus on reading through the new material and attending the content. Okay. There also.
That
Mhm.
sorry to interrupt. That brings to my second question, actually, Sandeep. Like, I understand the way this course will be delivered, but what happens when we come to the project part? Like, will there be any guidance provided or some flow charts provided before we start the
Yeah.
project, or we have to also ask queries and get clarified?
Yes, yes. So if you go into the course, you will see lots and lots of things marked as project. Okay. You see, getting started with the Git, churning inbox, emails, and so on. And if you go down, there is end-to-end project on regression. There is end-to-end project, which is beginner friendly. Then there is a California housing. Then there is a bike rental. There is noise, creating new images, then credit card fraud, and so on. These projects are called solved projects or guided projects. Okay. These guided projects will provide you the entire flow, what's happening, what's not happening, and this will help you, build build an intuition and the knowledge around solving machine learning project. And once you do that, you will be ready to handle, uh, Kaggle or any other platform where you can compete and so on. And I'm just putting down Kaggle in the chat, okay? So that, okay, Kaggle lead code is for coding, and Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, etc. for coding, okay? Kaggle is for the machine learning projects, okay? And let me also put it for ML projects, okay? And the book I have put in, okay? Now, yeah, lead code, hacker rank, etc. And your question was with respect to projects, and there are lots of solved projects. So once you have followed these guided projects are easier to handle. You will also get the full hang of things. I, as a learner, like when I learn new things, I learn by projects. Okay, I read the theory afterwards. When I get stuck into the project, I go back and study. And yeah, so yeah, the next thing is something called capstone project. In capstone project, what you have to do is you have to pick a problem statement, real world problem statement, which this Kaggle project, this capstone project will be for 1 month towards the end. Presentation for the project will be in the campus, in IIT Roorkee campus. The 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 certificate will be provided and awarded in the campus itself. And those who are international candidates who are from, let's say, outside India, and only for those they can give their presentation online. Okay. And this unsolved project, basically, you have to come up with your own problem statement. You have to do a bit of research, pick one problem statement, which should have at least some machine learning in it. There should be a training loop. And afterwards, you'll have to submit that project and so on. I'll provide the detailed guidelines, so nothing to worry. Okay.
Thanks, Sandeep.
So, okay. Good questions. Good questions. Yeah, please keep going.
Hello, Sandeep. I had a question. So besides this, will there be any, like there was mentioned that there will be 20 projects mini projects, sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
So,
There
could
are
you please
yeah,
elaborate, like, what sort of projects we will be doing besides these guided projects?
yeah. These are
Or
the first
are
20 projects. Yeah.
okay? So on this 20 projects and the last one project that we will be doing on ourselves, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So only these many are there. You won't be like you won't
So,
be
hmm. See, what happens is that usually what people start doing is just after they finish, let's say, topic 16, after you finish topic 16, okay, or topic 17 here on the screen. Let's say you finish topic 17. What people usually do in the class, they start working with Kaggle and they start, start picking up their real world project. If somebody is working, they start participating in their office machine learning project and they come up with their project. In case they get stuck, my team or I usually help them that you can do it this way. So rest of it is just open-ended, and we appreciate people having their own agendas, own projects alongside. Okay.
okay. And one more thing, as you said, we have to come prepared, right? Before the courses. Like, as in when the lecture is there, will there be like sort of like you will be elaborating a topic, and
Yeah.
then there will be Q&A, or will there only be Q&A sessions? No elaboration of topic or
No,
something like that.
there'll be a brief elaboration of topics. Okay. And then people will ask questions. And sometimes people say that, okay, this topic is obvious to us. Now there's no need of any briefing. Here are our questions. So, I mean, it depends upon that emotion. Okay. So my request would be that, I mean, and towards the end, in the same lecture, let's say we are going to meet next Saturday for Linux. Okay. Towards the end, we'll give a small briefing about the next topic, and you guys can come up with all questions related to the next topic in the next week. Okay, so that's the format of the classes. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
good questions. All right.
So just one last question. So does IIT Roorkee, do they consider the students of this particular course as part of their alumni? I mean, I'm just
Um,
talking from a networking perspective, sir.
no, so when I asked this question to director, right? So he asked me back saying that what do we mean by alumni? I said, uh, will they be can they put it on their LinkedIn profile? He said, yes, of course. Everybody can put in the LinkedIn profile. Second, second, um, can they come to, can they get their certificate verified if there is a verification request that is agreed? So the certificate is verified by IIT Roorkee. It's their course at the end of the day. And the 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 difference is with respect to the since it's an executive course, so you are an alumni of the IIT Roorkee, and that's how it is considered. Just that you are not an alumni of BTech course. That's the difference. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Wonderful set of questions. Stay connected. Those who have not yet enrolled, please feel free to enroll. And I'm looking forward to see you all in the class. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandeep. Bye.